Hey guys, I thought I would show you how I process my to-do list in WorkFlowy, how I extract the tasks for today out of their projects and put them into my to-do list, reorganize them so I'm ready for the day. I'm actually going to start from the end, so I'm going to process what I did yesterday, my yesterday's to-do list, and you'll see I didn't get a lot done. It was a weird day for me, so I actually just got a few items knocked out, and the rest will be recycled and maybe get done. Some of them will get done today, but so what I'm gonna show you first. This is my homepage on WorkFlowy. So each of these down here are my construction projects for my remodeling company, either currently signed contracts or proposals I need to work on. And then this up here are more personal, like garden, Fortnite, my flywheels, Flotsam, which is just miscellaneous, my 12-week year. So these are kind of more personal things. And then this node at the top is my node for my to-do list. Hashtag IMP is in process. Things that I want to get done today, I'll add that node or that tag to it. Hashtag SPR is for sprint because I use Scrum, so it's everything related to this sprint, which is a week long. So I'm going to jump into this node. I'm going to expand it. Usually I zoom, but I'm going to expand it. And like I said, yesterday was just a weird day. Ended up focusing on one thing for a good bit of the time and left the rest of this for the rest of the week, which is fine. So you can see I've already organized these. All of these nodes here belong in. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little clearer. Each of these nodes is a task from a project. You can see at the beginning is going to be the project label. So for construction projects, it's the first three letters of a customer name, and then if it has a phase, if it's a project that has phases, it'll have the phase label, which is a 5-character designation for the phase. Here's how I snap these things back into their project. First, it usually takes me a couple of minutes. It'll probably take a little bit longer because I'm explaining what I'm doing. I'm going to search the @ tag for the project and then the phase. I have my finger down here. You can't see it, but it's on the escape key, so I can navigate it pretty quickly. I have to make sure I show completed, so I am also doing the completed ones. Okay, so I'm showing you this so you can see why I'm about to outdent everything. If I don't outdent first, everything is kind of indented into heading nodes. So I'm going to do this. So I'm going to outdent everything to get it out of the nodes. So I just go through, select, and outdent it. And that way it's a little easier when I'm sorting them back into their projects. So here I'm going to go back in. I'm going to click on the, are you serious? Let me get all this stuff out too. There we go. Going to click on the label. Going to click on the phase. And then I select and I drag them. You can see that it pulls the project and the phase up to the tasks because of the search mechanism. So I hit escape, do it again, and do the phase, escape. And so this takes me a couple of minutes to get things back into their project. This is a lot of different phases. A lot of times it's not quite like this. Oh, I just hit escape. And I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to go through this process so you can kind of be absorbing what I'm doing. Sometime I'll be as good as Dan or Frank with their WorkFlowy videos that are very concise and to the point. I would love to be like that. That's not my personality. So you can see I'm just clicking on the project name, and as I click on it, it pulls the project up to the list, and then when I click on the phase, it collapses everything except for just the search, so it makes it very easy to move these things around. And this is taking a little bit longer than it usually does. I added a lot of stuff. I was obviously really optimistic about my day yesterday, and ended up focusing on a couple of things that were important to me. In some of these you can see, so Flotsam is just my miscellaneous tasks, kind of standalone tasks that aren't a part of a project. I'm going to move these into not today so they can kind of get out of my way, and then I'll pull them back out. So you can see, yeah, most of them do. I usually have phases, except for just a few of my projects that are, they don't need phases or any more kind of distinction or categorization. Hit escape. And this kind of thing may drive some people crazy. It doesn't feel laborious to me. It's, for what it does for me, it's worth the couple minutes it usually takes me to extract, and then maybe 5 or 10 minutes you'll see when I create my to-do list. It takes 5 or 10 minutes. So all in all, each day maybe 15 minutes to put things into their projects, and then create my new to-do list. So the fact, some days that aren't complicated, or where I know, I'm just going to be working on a couple of things, I'll just leave. I'll add the in process in the projects themselves and won't move them into to-do list. But anytime where that wasn't right. Anytime where I feel like I've got a lot to do, I want to make sure I have just the things to do in a list, isolated from the projects, so I don't get distracted by the projects, and I can then reorganize them in order of the things I want to do. I end up, generally speaking, being a lot more productive that way. And so it depends. Some days I'll add in process to my projects, like I'm about to do, and just leave them there, and then I'll just search by context. If I'm in town, I'll pull up town. But some days, or some weeks, or kind of parts of my life, I know I've got a lot of stuff in front of me, a lot of details. I need to get as much done and be as efficient as possible, and go from one thing to the next, and make sure I'm, while I'm in town, on the north side of town, I'm doing everything I can do on the north side of town. So some days are just like that, like I'm trying to pack as much in, and I've got a lot of kind of disparate tasks that I'm trying to pack into my day. And other days I'm mainly just going to a job site and doing some work, getting some materials to the job site and meeting some subcontractors. And so it's not as kind of intensive, and I know I'm not going to have the time to pack in a bunch of stuff because I just need to focus on, the next phase of a job or something. So, and then some days, in addition to that, if I'm feeling like I really need to wrap my head around my brain or around my week, I actually have, let's see if it'll focus on it. Oh dear. There we go. Get it at an angle. The shape of my week, so I have a one-page week, and I'll pencil in kind of and create time chunks. So it depends on the nature of the week, how I process my week, how much kind of scaffolding that I feel like I need to create for myself. Right now I'm in a phase where I'm not doing the shape of my week because the nature of my work doesn't lend itself to that, but I am pulling my tasks out and organizing them so I can get as much done. And I have other kind of systems I can pull in if I need even more intensive You know, if I've got a day where I've got to get 17 things done, they're all kind of mission critical, I will actually pull out and create from a template like a 15-minute WorkFlowy day, where the day is broken down, you know, 8:15, 8:30, 8:45, and I'll actually lay my day out that way so I can really wrap my mind around how my day is going to go and whether I'm falling behind. So I've got all these systems that I can use, and I just kind of go by feel. What do I feel like I need in terms of scaffolding? So with work being trying to fit in several things, this is the level that I'm using. Is just I'm about to create my today's in process, and then I'm going to pull them out of their projects, put them into my in process node, and then I'm going to organize them in order, and I'll do that so you can kind of see and absorb. And this may be something that's a helpful addition to your WorkFlowy processes. So I've already on Saturday gone through all of my potential tasks and added hashtag SPR for sprint. So this would be my sprint backlog that I've created. So when I click on sprint, it pulls up all the things I've added hashtag sprint to. I'll hide completed because I only want to see the things that are not completed. And then I'm just gonna kind of visually scroll down on my computer, and just I kind of know the things I can work on today and what I can't and what I want to and what's on my plate and what's on my calendar. So I'm clicking on Alt, so I can Alt select, and I'll just go through. Actually, you know what I need to do first? It's funny trying to make a video of doing this. I actually need to get rid of I'm using my Stream Deck, and I'm going to delete in process. So I've created a macro for my Stream Deck that will do this for me, and it gets rid of all of my in process tags. Oh, and I'm not showing completed. Hold up. And I'm not supposed to be searching. There we go. Let's try that again. Nope. Delete in process. Let's see if this works. I'm doing something wrong. I'm distracted by making a video. This is super effortless. X out. There we go. Remove cursor focus. Here we go. There we go. All right. Okay, so now in theory, when I click on hashtag in process, they're all gone. Yeah, there's nothing there, so it just deleted them. Now, back to sprint. So I'm going to hide completed, and then I'm going to Alt select anything that I want to do today. Need to fold my laundry. I need to get out of the mindset of I'm making a video, because that's kind of distracting me. So I'm going to ignore you for a minute and get this done. And I won't talk much so I can focus. Today is Tuesday. Hey Jim, if you're watching, there you are. Added our calendar event to my WorkFlowy a few minutes ago. You can fast forward this part. Okay, so I've selected everything that I want to work on today, and I'm going to, actually I'll do it on screen instead of using my Stream Deck. I'm going to pull up WFX, multi-tagger, and this is going to add hashtag in process. Hit enter. Okay, now everything that I just alt selected, I've added in process, so I'm going to search by in process now. I'm going to use WFX to multi-select all of the nodes that were revealed by the search, and then I'm going to unselect that one, and then I'm going to Control X. So I've deleted but saved them. Jump into this, hit Control V. Oh, Jesse or Frank, if you happen to watch this, this is an issue for me when I do a search, but I know you know about this issue. Let me Control Z. Let me get those back out. I have to scroll to the bottom. I forgot about that. And I'm going to, because behind the scenes it's only producing a couple pages or something because of kind of the rapid production of the pages. I have to scroll to the bottom. So here I'm going to what am I doing? I've selected. Okay, I'm going to Control X. And then Control V. There we go. So now I've extracted everything out of the project that I want to work on today. I'm going to go into Not Today where I store these, and I probably have some stuff at the computer. Saint Job, Town, Float. I think that's it. I'm going to pull those out. Those are going to be my categories, my context for the day. Now I'm going to see if I have anything at home. Yep. I'm going to bury that in there. Anything at the Saint Job. Anything in town. And you can organize this however you want, right? For today, this is how I'm organizing it. Sometimes, like if I'm just at home, I may not put them into categories. I may just put them in order as a single list. Actually, I'm going to move this one out of there, and that's a phone call that I'll do while I'm in town. That's at the Saint Job. It's at the Saint Job. Okay, guess I don't need float. Okay, now I've put everything into kind of their context, which you can do with just a search, of course. But if you do it as a search, you can't organize it like I'm about to organize it. So I'll just give one example. I won't do the whole thing because it'll be too time consuming. But when I'm in town, I just think through what my path from my house to town is going to be and get gas. While I'm driving, I'm going to make some phone calls. So I'll make the ones that are phone calls, I'll leave at the top. Are you gonna put at the very top? Because I'll just make them as I'm driving. This I actually want to do while I'm at home on the phone. That's at low, so that's on the way. This is top priority. In fact, I'm going to do that first. Do that first. Okay, so now I've put them in order, and obviously I'm at home where my office is right now. And then I'll just look to see, is there anything I want to do? What's the kind of order of my day? So there's some stuff I'm going to do before I leave. So I'll leave home at top. And then I'm going to go to town. And then I'm going to go to Saints. And then computer would be at home again. And so once I do this top thing, I'll then move this down in order. So, and I can do that on my phone. Now that I've got it to that point, I'm going to wrap things up, head to town, and then I'll be working off my phone. And then I can pull up and trigger hashtag in process. It will expand all of those. I can just start at the top, do whatever I'm going to do. Once I'm done in that context for that time frame, I can just move that context label down and reorder it on the phone. Is pretty easy. And then tonight, hopefully I'll get more done today than I did yesterday. That's actually not true. What I did yesterday was was not a task. It was just a focus on some relationships. But so at the end of the day, I'll do what I did at the beginning of this video. I'll pull these things out, dump them back into their projects and into their phase, and start again. So there you go, 22 minutes in. For somebody who's trying to figure out how to create a to-do list that they can reorder and reorganize, the magic is in creating these searchable tags at the beginning for the project name and then the phase, if you have phases, and that lets you kind of pull them together. For somebody that needs things to be in order, if there's a particular order and just dumping them back in that in a way that's disordered, you can use WFX sort mechanism and just put like 1, 2, 3, 4 and sort them numerically once you put them back in, which would take another minute or so to do, if that's something that's important to you. So anyway, there you go. That's how I do it. That's my thing. And maybe some or all of that might be helpful to some of you guys who are trying to figure out how to do this with your current WorkFlowy. Good luck.